first off, I just want to tell you that I am so thankful for you. I'm thankful for you being here in this room with me. I'm thankful that you are in this zone of this mindset with me to really become your best authentic self. If you choose to be completely authentic, you're going to run into a bunch of roadblocks. You're going to mostly run into roadblocks with yourself. Maybe not as much with other people as you might think. Sometimes we think, oh, if we're authentic, if we're really truly authentic with who we are, we like speak from the heart. We just kind of tell the truth and get to the point on things. Then we're going to somehow frustrate people or upset people or get under their skin. And I want to encourage you to really adopt this idea of being raw, being authentic. And being authentic doesn't just mean saying exactly all the things you feel per se, but to truly connect with the truth of the moment, of right now, of what's going on in your thought life, to be constantly thinking, okay, what's true? What meaning am I looking for right now? And then what can I do to make the best of this particular situation? Like, how can I really make the best of this right now? How can I bring all of the best of the authentic qualities? That's where the best part comes in. So the other thing is to look at the best. Like, so you want to see your authenticity through your best. So like, what's the best thing you have to offer? I spent a little bit of time today setting up the lights a little bit differently because I realized that there's two things really I think that, like, just from a purely physical and like just my essence, right, is my eyes, because I got really pretty blue eyes, and my voice. And I've got a nice voice. I've gone to voice school. I think I've got a pretty nice sounding voice. So I want to make sure that I'm using my voice well and that I'm using my eyes. And the other thing is encouragement. I'm an encourager. I like to encourage people. So within this idea of like, how can I encourage somebody today? How can I look them in the eyes and smile, and what can I say to them that's going to amplify them, that's going to make them better? You know, those are the lenses with which I see myself. And for you, it might be completely different, you know, but I like to choose a couple physical attributes, choose some spiritual attributes, and leave some professional attributes. For me, my professional attributes are being able to set up lights, being able to put together a camera, and being able to have pretty good audio, good enough audio from my voice. And so I need to use all these things, but it stems from me because I'm the one who's putting out some content. And so I guess where I like to go with this is like, my content is going to be centered around the person who's going to be on camera, or who's going to be trying to find what it is that makes you special. Because at the end of the day, all the marketing, and here's my let me just give you the big master plan. All of the marketing, every product, every service, everything that exists on this earth that is enjoyed, consumed, or otherwise experienced, that it is for a human or a dog. But it's for a human. And even, even if it's for a dog, I'm going super ADHD. That's another thing, ADHD. Squirrel. So if it goes with a dog would be, you're still selling to humans. That's why they have Butterfinger dog treats, because you're selling to humans, not dogs. Dogs don't go into the store and go, oh, how much is it going to be for that Butterfinger dog treat? I really want that again, sir. They very rarely do that. So everything is bought and sold by humans. And so for me, it's like, as a marketer and as somebody who's into marketing, one of the things that frustrates me the most is when people on the other side of the marketing plan don't have an actual plan. So for example, when you advertise to somebody, you're hoping to advertise to somebody who genuinely needs your product and service. You want to advertise to somebody who actually is going to use and get the most from it. I think advertising becomes manipulation when you try to force somebody to get something that they otherwise wouldn't have purchased and really don't need or want or value, it's just not necessarily as good for that person. Now, here's the deal. Every single person gets to make their own decision. And, as marketers, we can't be liable for other people's decisions to buy something based on an ad, because the whole point of an ad is to buy something. But the whole point of advertising in general is to get specific enough on an audience so that the advertisement money is actually well spent, because the whole point of putting an ad out is to reach people who actually need it. So my inverse concept of this and my thought is that my biggest fear around marketing, and I think why I like the best authentic self model, because what I want to see happen is I want to see people who know who they are and know what it's going to take to be successful. I want to empower them, because I think that those are the people who not only are they the best consumers, but they're the best producers as well. So I think that the world at large is better when everybody decides that I'm going to be a producer more than I'm going to be a consumer. Meaning I'm going to give more than I'm going to take. I'm going to give more than I take. So for example, if you're consuming more content than you put out, then you are a consumer, period, right? If you consume more than you put out, you are a consumer, period. But if you put out more than you consume, then you're considered efficient, right? Efficiency is high output, low input, right? Low input, high output. So what I believe is the ultimate goal for anyone is to find that part of themselves. And I think this is even from a product standpoint, and even from like a business standpoint, being able to solve this problem or help people solve this problem is probably the greatest problem you can try to solve. And so this whole channel is something that's about trying to figure out how to do that, how to actually get to that place. How do I become a strategic buyer? How do I become more of who I'm supposed to be? What are the physical, emotional, philosophical, professional elements of myself that require low input and high output? Meaning I don't have to do, I could literally show up, and if in this condition, these are the conditions in which if I show up, my natural gifting that God has given me is shining. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for anyone that I come in contact with. I want them to see their genius that God has already given them, and it's a gift. And that's what's beautiful about it. The people who operate in their gifts at the highest level, they're extremely humble people. And the reason, I think, is because it took them a long time to figure out what it is their gifting actually was. And once they tapped into their gifting, things started growing, things started booming. And until you really tap into the gifting, which does take some trial and error, once you tap into the gifting, I think that it really is just a matter of time. And the thing is, a gifting doesn't just give to other people and not to yourself. No, a gifting actually does both. A true gifting gives you something, and it also gives somebody else something. And you both walk away better. So a gift begets gifts, and a generous person, and being cheerfully generous. I think the people who are the most miserable, myself included, when I get the most miserable is when I forget who I am. When I stop singing, or I stop speaking, and I stop getting to be around people, and I stop talking to. I stop speaking with passion, because that's really my thing. Like speaking with passion, like having passion with what I'm saying, and falling in love with an idea, and creating something. Honestly, creating something every single day. I love creating something every day. I have to create, and so these are there's a recipe of what makes you happy, and for some reason, we think that there's the happiness police on our tail. Do you ever feel like this? I feel like this. Do you ever feel like there's a happiness police? There's a happiness police on our tail, and it's like if we get too happy, if we start speeding down happy lane, the police are gonna come up. Hey, slow down. They try to give you a ticket because you're going too fast in the happy highway. I feel like that sometimes. I feel like it's very easy to, when you start going down the happy highway, and and then all of a sudden, like, somebody in your life, it could even be someone close to you, they just hit you the wrong way, or they bring something up that was just not what you wanted to hear at that point, and all of a sudden you start realizing, okay, I can't speed down the happy highway. I have to slow down. But the truth, that's just not true. You know, if we follow the happy highway, and we stay on the happy highway, and you stay positive, and you don't let anyone else get you down, it's sometimes there's like a war, right? Like people like to test the happy highway. They like to test. You can't really go that fast in that in your happy mobile. You can't go that fast, really. You really can't go that fast. And and you go, well, I can, and I will keep going. And sometimes they try to tell you all of these things, like, oh, well, there's construction up ahead, oh, there's traffic up ahead, oh, there's all these different things up ahead. Well, sometimes being in the happy mobile is just better. It'd be better to be in traffic in the happy mobile than in the told you so ideal, or the realism mobile. So a happy mobile has more than just go and drive. It also has a cool radio. It also has really nice seats, and it has a special interior, and it has this cool exterior, and it's big or small to fit however many people you need in it, and you can really choose. You can choose what kind of vehicle you're going to be driving down the happy highway. Such a silly analogy. I just came up with this right now. Can you tell? But the happy highway is something really special. I think that the happy highway is what we intrinsically need in order for us to get to that destination. And I honestly think that the happy highway is the happy highway because it's just the happy highway. You're just happy on the highway. You're happy. Whether you're in traffic, whether you're in, whether you have to drive through a construction site or whatnot, is that you're on the happy highway. The happy highway is a great place, and there's a lot of other people on the happy highway, and it's wonderful. And so I want that for you. I guess is what I'm trying to give up. I want that for you guys. I want happy highway for all of us. And people will, I think people, when you're on the happy highway, the people who are not on the happy highway are not on the happy highway. They might try to screw with you. But I really think that holding true to the things that really build you up, and build up the spirit, mind, body, soul, the things that really build you up, I think that's really worth pursuing, because I think on the other side of the happiness train is actually more clarity on the things that might be issues right now, or the thing that might be if you're on the if what am I trying to say? It's worth. Let me just put it like this. It's worth spending time being on pursuing the things that make you happy. And there is no rule book that says you cannot get paid and be happy. There's no rule book that says you can't have good relationships and be happy. There's nowhere it says you can't be in good health and not be happy. Like there's sometimes we think that our happiness is like at the expense of other things, or we have to give something up to be happy. And I don't think that's really fully true. I think that you can either choose to be happy today with what you got, be content with who you are, no more, no less. Because that's when you find yourself the proud owners of everything that can't be bought. Be your best authentic self. Got it? Matthew 5:5 message version. You're blessed when you're content with just who you are, no more, no less. That's when you find yourselves the proud owners of everything that can't be bought. You cannot be bought. If you can be content with just who you are, no more, no less, that's when you find yourself the proud owner of everything that cannot be bought. And that roughly translates in the other versions, I think ESV, it's like, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. So if you want to inherit the earth, be meek. Be meek. That's humility and strength. Meekness is like an ox. An ox, or an ox can carry a whole lot of weight. But it's a humble animal. The ox is pretty humble. Very few times, if you say, "What's your spirit animal?" An ox. It's like, really? you know. Yeah. Anyways, I believe that if we keep searching for truth, we keep trying to find meaning in our lives, and we take steps to be our best, we can be on the happy highway. And right now, if you are finding yourself in the happy highway, I want you to think of a couple things. Think of an attribute for every single part of who you are. Think of an attribute, like your winning attribute. Like just take a piece of paper and write down physical, right? And write down like 3 or 4 things about your physical appearance that makes you that is like a winning place, a win zone, right? And then put down like personality. What are some things about your personality that makes you special? What is something in your professional abilities or your skill sets? Write something down for each one of those, and get a full understanding of who you are. Spiritually, what is your spiritual gifts? From my spiritual gift is faith, exhortation, and encouragement, teaching, and then craftsmanship. I think it's like in that order. So I took some tests on this, but who knows? Who knows if that's right? But definitely like prophecy and encouragement, right? It's like a huge thing for me. But yeah, spiritual gifts, relational strengths. Like, what are your strengths in your relationships? Like, what is it that makes you a great team member? Or what makes you competitive? What's your competitive strength? Like, if you were in a room with 100 other people, what would it be? For me, I'm like I think I'm in my top strength for like the 1 to 100. I took like this personality test. It's like I'm 98th percentile of enthusiasm, which I was shocked to know that I was 98th percentile. So if I'm in a room with like 100 people and I'm being myself fully, then I will be like in that the top 2% of people in the room that are probably the most enthusiastic people. So it's something to know about yourself. What are your strengths? And you don't have to be enthusiastic. Believe me, don't try to compete with me. It's something that happens regardless of whether I try or not. But that's what I'm trying to get at. You want to figure out what are the things that you are number one in. I will say there's a really good test that I would highly encourage you to take. It's called understandmyself.com. It's by Jordan Peterson. Take it. That's a great test. I think it's $10. And I think that if you want to do it with a partner, I think they have like some discount for like $20 or $15, something like that. I don't know. You check it out, but it's really cool. Understandmyself.com. You should definitely check out that site. I've also created a purpose test if you're interested in that. If you wanted to join in on our 14-day call, our 14-day, if you want to join in Tag Expert and you want to figure out who you are, you want to become a producer, and not focus on consuming. You want to help people with your products and services. You want to get the message out, and you're not sure exactly how to do that or what makes you special and what makes you unique. Give us go ahead and apply is what you need to do. Go to tag.expert. tag.expert. That's tag, like tag, you're it, and then dot, and then expert. So there's not a .com. It's just tag.expert. Tag.expert/trial. And you can sign up for to join in our 14-day onboarding. You're going to learn about your company. And then depending on what we discover in those 14 days, we will kind of come up with a plan for you to start creating content. And that can be done with the help of people on our team. It can be that with just on your own. And we just do continue the coaching with more of a paid, more of a structured plan. So try that out. Try us out on that. And then also, if you want to join in for free on our calls every single Monday, that's Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific daytime. That's 3 p.m. on Monday. Go to tag.expert/talent. You can actually register, say what your thing is, like what are you successful, what's your profession, like what is it that you do, and you can join in on our talent list to get opportunities for work, and then also to continue to sharpen your abilities and skill sets, work on projects that excite you. So that's all we have for today. I hope you got something out of it. I was just stream of consciousness a bit, but I guess the key takeaways are to focus on the happy highways, be on the happy highway, stay on the happy highway, come up with a few different attributes of yourself that you find are special. And if you don't know, call a couple people nearby you. I even did this a few days ago. I went on Instagram, just asked, like, what are a few words that you just describe me? People said joy, they said authentic, they said kind, they said faithful, and all these things just made me really happy to hear that from people. Like, sometimes I'm a words of affirmation guy anyways. People need to tell me, I need people to tell me, like, I need people to encourage me too, it's not like I just need to be encouraging other people. I need to be encouraged as well. But yeah, this is those are the takeaways, and I implement them with your life. Jump on the call at 3 p.m. on Pacific time on Monday, and you can connect with me and a bunch of other folks there. We will talk about what we're working on and stay motivated, stay accountable on personal projects. Love you, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.